Okay, here we go. Now, unless you've been living under a rock these past few days, you've heard the beast, the NEOGEO, is returning. God love the logo. Slick. It's looking good. Probably just a render, but see that volume slider, headphone jack, classic NEOGEO controller. 10 games on offer, some better than others. We'll go over those shortly. Big chunky cars. You gotta love the pixel art, amazing. Just how it sits, look at the console, it's awesome. Few accessories, pad, memory card, and compatible with original cards. That's awesome. There are those original collectors out there, like I used to be. Slick, but that's not all. Maybe you want a cleaner, ice white look. Don't think this one's for me. I prefer the black for the nostalgia, but this is a nice alternative. Gold logo pops nicely on there. I like the joystick though. Awesome. Okay, let's look at what's on offer. So we're going to take a quick look at the Plaion Replai. I don't even know how you pronounce that. I've never heard of this site before, but they're working with SNK to re-release an authentic, reproduced NEOGEO and accessories and games. So we'll just have a look at the quick options which are available. It's coming out on the 12th of November. Get your pre-orders in now. So you've got the original edition, classic black. This, if I order one, I haven't ordered anything yet, but maybe down the line, I think I'd probably go for this. You just get the basic console and a wide joystick, and that's it. And I'll tell you why. That's probably the one I'd go for at the moment. Yeah, what else do you get? HDMI cable, power supply as you'd expect. I think the key thing is here, it's a one-for-one replica. That's what they're aiming for anyway. We'll see how well they pull it off. No emulation, powered by re-engineered ASIC chips. So in my limited understanding, technical understanding, this means it should be better than emulation. It should be as good as it's going to get, reproducing basically the same literal hardware. Low latency HDMI output, quality of life features, you know, like being able to change the region. Original AV output for CRT enthusiasts. So if you've got a CRT TV, you can still use those, and HDMI. Dip switch settings. This is an important one, overclocking. So for games like Metal Slug, which struggled a bit, the original on the original hardware, you get sections which slows down. You'll see that a bit later. I'll show some gameplay footage. You can overclock, so that should help those sort of problems on the games that need it. You got the memory card for high scores, that sort of thing. And yeah, I think that's about it for the basic one. Looks pretty much as I remembered it, because I had one of these, not in the 90s, because I was a teenager, and you know, even as an adult, these were expensive, like £600-700 for the console, £200-300 per game. I mean, there was just so much hardware packed in. The cartridges were weighty. That's something I'm wondering on the new one actually, is because memory is so much lighter and smaller these days, are the cartridges going to feel, you know, like really light, or are they going to feel quite weighty? You know, you have to put some fishing weights in them or something to kind of reproduce the same heft to them. I don't know. So you've got the anniversary edition, this white one. So a bit more expensive, but you get Metal Slug included, and you get a wireless controller and a memory card. So that's a nice little package. White Metal Slug case rather than the black one. Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, it's not for me because I've got too much nostalgia for the black one. But for those that like a little different kind of look, clean look, It's a nice option. I quite like the joystick though, and the gold logo on the white. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, I did actually have original NEOGEO console back about 10-15 years ago when I used to collect retro games. I had about 7 or 8 carts, AES carts, mostly King of Fighters, some of the Fatal Fury series. It was awesome, but I kind of moved away from collecting, so I eventually sold it. But yeah, I'm tempted to get one of these, but it'll probably be the original edition. I'll go into that more later. You've got the Ultimate Edition for those that want to go be deep into this. £800. This is the UK site, obviously. About $1,000, I think it is in US dollars. So this is basically the people that want it all. You get all the 10 games. You get, obviously, the console. You get a wired controller and a wireless joystick as well. So you've got wired joystick and wireless. I think it says here we go, the full contents here. Arcade stick wired, arcade stick wireless, gamepad wireless, which is, scroll past it, there's all the games as well. Go over that in a sec. There's the gamepad. I think some people were complaining something about the buttons aren't in the right order, color wise or layout. Don't really know the details, but maybe they need to fine tune some bits. So here's all the games. We've got Metal Slug, The King of Fighters 2002, Garou or Garou, however you pronounce it, Mark of the Wolves, Big Tournament Golf, which is Neo Turf Masters. This is just the Japanese version name. Shock Troopers, Samurai Shodown 5 Special, Pulstar, Twinkle Star Sprites, and Magician Lord, and finally Over Top. A lot of good games here. Some of them are ones I'm not so keen on or a bit more obscure. I think some of them might be included here because they are so rare, so it gives people opportunity to get them for a cheaper price. You get the game rack to hold them. That's that scroll. That's this thing just to hold them all nicely. I mean, it's a nice little inclusion. Whether people will use it, I don't know. You could just put them on a shelf or something. Wireless dongle, obviously, for your wireless joystick, and same for the pad. Cable for the wired joystick. That's to charge your wireless joystick as well, isn't it? Same for that one, the gamepad, HDMI cable and power supply, and you get the memory card as well. So I think the big thing about this is if you go in all in, the price of all the games alone, I think works out something like, yes, 800, no, not 800, 700 pounds. So basically, you're getting the rest of the stuff, the controllers, the system, for about 100 pounds. So, but it is a hefty cost. So you've got to be kind of really keen on it to go full on. But if you're committed and you want to do the full collection, then this is going to save you money in the long run. I've got a different kind of plan, which I'll go into. But then, as we've seen, the accessories kind of already gone over these. The arcade stick, hey, 90 quid. You could argue, is that a bit expensive? I found the original arcade stick when I had a NEOGEO really nice, but I found the buttons a bit loose. You know, some buttons can kind of like move in the sockets a bit, and they're quite raised. So really interesting to see how it feels compared to the original. I love the look of it. It looks really nice. I mean, the one I had wasn't as pristine as this because it was a second hand, but yeah, really nice. You got the gamepad. I don't think I'm too bothered about having one of these. Maybe there's some games that kind of play better with it. Maybe some driving games or something, but you know, it's the NEOGEO. Most games work brilliantly on the joystick. Memory cards, you get this in black and white to save you high scores. I don't know if it's going to save your position in the game, if there's saving is going to be a thing. I mean, it says save game data, high scores, and progress across compatible games. So maybe only certain games you can save your progress. That's hilarious. RAM 16 kilobytes. That's what, you know, that's what the original was. And obviously you can get the white one as well if you've got the white console. And there's the white stick as well. I quite like the white stick compared to the console. You know, I prefer the black console, but yeah, it looks quite clean, quite nice. It's wireless as well. Very nice. And there's a quick look at all the games, as I've said. Going to cover each of the games, a bit of gameplay at the end of this video with chapters. So if you want to skip to a certain one, go right ahead. They're played on my NEOGEO MVSX cabinet. Just have a quick look, give you a quick idea of what they play like. So we're going to have a look at those now. Give you my thoughts on each one and what I think. So here we go. Okay, time to take a look at the games. So starting with Garou, Mark of the Wolves, awesome one-on-one fighter. Quick look at the intro here. So I've arranged these games in kind of the order I prefer them. It's not exact, but just to give you a kind of idea of what I'm thinking. So it all works brilliant on this game. It's part of the Fatal Fury series, I believe, one of the later titles, or the latest one that was released. Awesome artwork, absolutely incredible animation. It's a massive favourite of a lot of people. So we're just going to have a look at quick gameplay footage, a couple of rounds. That's the nice thing about NeoGeo as well. You get a lot of little intros that show you how to use the basic controls. We've got to play as a guy called Butt. I mean, come on. I often play as this guy when I do play. It's he's fun. He's like a 70s martial arts guy with a big afro. Stages on this are beautiful. Animation's amazing. Soundtrack, music, incredible. I mean, look at the background on here. The stages actually change as well on some stages, from round to round, as you'll see in a minute. Plenty of moves. I'm still pretty much a noob at this game, but yeah, I'm looking forward to really diving deep into it. This is what the NeoGeo is all about. Look at this, different stage completely. Look at the station now. The animation is awesome, isn't it? All the detail in the background. So imagine sitting on your sofa, your couch, a couple of joysticks with one of your mates or your family, whatever. Just having some battles on this on the big screen TV. It's going to be awesome. Just love the train in the background as well. So you've got special moves on this. You've got like a power meter. You can change different levels to have different effects. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but quite a bit of depth. Just have enough look at another stage here. I think this is probably one of my go-to top choices for carts. So I think I'll get the basic system and then probably pick up one or two carts and then add others down the line. So finding a little parking lot here. The music on this stage is awesome. Just listen out for this. You hear me furiously hammering the joystick. A lucky win. Just love the stages, they're awesome. Love this music. Loads of special moves, animations, gorgeous backgrounds, amazing music, chunky sound effects. What more could you want? So yeah, I think this one, if you're a fighting game fan, this has got to be right near the top of your list. So guys, the chapters are in the description if you want to hop further ahead to a particular game, because some of these go on a little bit, so I understand if you want to skip ahead, that's fine, but I wanted to show a decent amount of most of them, just so you can get a good feel of what you're going to get. And I've got no doubt they'll play awesome on the new system, barring any massive failures, but I don't think they're going to let that happen, to be honest. Looking forward to seeing more stages on this as well. This is so detailed. All the characters as well, fun to play. Pretty intense fights, as you can see. So, Garou Mock the Wolves. Awesome game. So another one right up there is Metal Slug, obviously one of the most famous NEOGEO games out there. Needs no introduction really. You've got to have this on the NEOGEO. I mean, it's criminal you don't have a decent Metal Slug game on there. Animation is absolutely amazing, detailed. There's different weapons, grenades. You will notice on Metal Slug, you definitely notice it on this one, when things get a bit busy, it does slow down. And I think that's what the overclocking's for on the NEOGEO Plus, to hopefully prevent that. Yeah, I can't remember how many games. There's about like 5 Metal Slugs, I think, in total. So it'd be interesting to see. I mean, they'd be crazy not to release more games as long as they've, still got all the rights for them all, which it should for Metal Slug. So hopefully they'll release them all. It's just one of these really easy pick up and play games that's, forever fun. Satisfying to play, loads of explosions, lots of stuff going on. Different themes on the different Metal Slug games as well. Some like undead, some you find insects. Obviously this is the original and the classic. It's always good fun to have a good blast through. Hop into the tank. You get quite a few vehicles on the different Metal Slug games, which adds a good bit of variety. You can do 2-player as well, I believe, on all of them. I think on this one you don't. Could be wrong, you don't select a character, but on some of the later ones you do. You can select different characters. Yeah, you see all the backgrounds, all the parallax scrolling, that's awesome. Coming up to the boss in a second. I mean, people will argue, why don't you just play the emulated versions, and that's fine. It's perfectly great for most people. That's all you want. Play the emulated versions. I think this is really aimed at those people that want the physical cards, the AES console in their room on display. They'll say, why are you paying like £80 for something that's probably like £3 on a an e-store or something? It's kind of missing the point. I think the point is people want that physicality, picking up a chunky cart, putting it in the console, getting the official joysticks, easily playing on the big TV with the right resolution, not have to worry about upscalers, getting a custom HDMI cable. Yeah, that's pretty easy, but people don't always want to fuss with that sort of thing. So now we've got big tournament golf. So as you see here, this is basically Neo Turf Masters, which is the Western name for it. And I think the one that's coming out for this, it's going to have a new set of courses for Scotland, which was only included, I think, in maybe the Japanese version. This is an awesome golf game. I always come back to it. And I've played a few over the years. There's another golf game, I forget the name off the top of my head, that's on the NEOGEO, but this is definitely the best one. It's just like really accessible, easy to play. The graphics are awesome. It's funny, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just really pick up and play. You just got a power meter and then another meter to see whether you want it to go high or low. You can aim left and right, obviously. It's just good fun. You can play multiplayer, take turns. Hey, that's a good shot, isn't it? Right on the green. It's all lined up. Another meter here. Look, aim for the white line. Tap it in. Hey, nice birdie. And the animations, they're hilarious when, you know, if you do a bad round, he gets angry. It's a cool game, really accessible. Fourth game on my list is Shock Troopers. Covered this a little while back on the channel as well. If you like old games like Commando, Run and Guns, this is an awesome game. You've got 3, I think, different stages. We'll see in a second. Or themed routes you can go through. 2-player as well, if you want to play 2-player. So you go jungle, valley or mountain. So each of those has got multiple levels. So you're getting quite a bit of content on this one. It's really fun. Overhead run and gun game. Like Commando Mercs. You hold the fire button down, your character will aiming in that direction. So that's how you kind of aim at them a bit easier. You've got a grenade button. You can switch to different characters when you're starting out. And when you die, they have different specials. Again, it's just pure arcade fun. The graphics are awesome, detailed. Sound effects and animations are beautiful. It's just one of those games you can sit on your couch, slap it in, pick it up and play. It doesn't take, you know, you can get a friend over or whatever, family member, explain it to them in about 1 minute, 3 seconds, and you know, they know how to play it. And that's some of the great thing about these arcade style games. You know, you can just keep continuing. If you just want to churn through the game, there's no pressure, there's no running out of continues or anything. Because it's obviously all arcade, they want your money, so you can die as much as you want and still get through the entire game. You've got your life meter on the left there. This just encapsulates arcade gameplay for me, so this is why it's high on my list of one I'd get. I don't know if I'd get this first, but it's definitely up there. I'd probably pick 1 or 2 up to begin with, and then add more down the line. You know, build your collection out as you would when you were kind of growing up. You wouldn't have like 10 NEOGEO games at once unless, you know, your parents were rich. Like back in the day, we used to just get games on birthdays, Christmases. You know, we didn't get those games, you know, all throughout the year. So I'd take the same approach to this. You know, just buy the odd game, couple to start with. If so often, buy another one, add each collection. Then you can like make the most of each game, enjoy them. That awesome sequences, attacking the helicopter. Loads of different weapons in this. Got the Vulcan cannon here, flamethrowers. It's just like a different perspective on Metal Slug, isn't it, really? Have a good run and gun. Those are tanks and everything. And those are vehicles in this game. Some quite different unique stages as well. Like the mountain stage, you climb the rock faces, you're going on zip lines. It's pretty varied, pretty awesome. And that's where I die. So let's move on to the next one, which is King of Fighters 2002. Let's listen to this intro. All the King of Fighters intros are really cool to watch. They did a really good job. Again, you get the intros to, what the controls do. Really nice. Now, the thing about King of Fighters, if you never played it, depending on the version you get, but definitely this one, you've got so many characters and you can pick your own team. So you pick 3 characters, then you pick what order you want to fight. So one character gets defeated, the next one hops in on the next round, so on and so forth, and it's whatever team, wins without running out of characters, as you'll see here. Don't you judge me on my gameplay, it's been a while. But there's so many characters to play with and learn, the stages are all awesome, loads, really varied. Gorgeous backgrounds, look at the animation there, thunderstorm. You've got a power meter down at the bottom. And there's often subtle changes between the different versions, King of Fighters. The first one was King of Fighters 94. I think all the way up to 2002. I don't know if this is the last one or if there's another. But there's loads of variety in these games. I think you can even do team battles where you have like set teams as well. So I got epically failed there. So my second character jumps in, which is Terry Bogard. Obviously, I've got the advantage on this one because I've got more health. Yeah, like a lot of the NEOGEO games, all the stages and the backgrounds, the animations are just beautiful throughout. It's going to look awesome on a big screen TV. So you're kind of spoiled for choice in the initial 10 games that are available for fighting games, as you'd expect on a NEOGEO. You've got Garou Mark of the Wolves. You've got King of Fighters, this one, 2002. And you've got Samurai Shodown 5 Special, which is coming up shortly. So it just kind of depends which one you like the most. There's a couple of different styles. This one's probably the best for sheer amount of characters and from that kind of team battle sort of approach. So I just lose this round, so I'm down to my final character now. But the guy on the right's got very little health. This is quite funny, actually. Just cry chop to your face, sir. No messing around. So now it's pretty much an even fight. Last 2 characters on both teams. That's one of the guy from the Art of Fighting series, another title on here. Maybe that'll be released one day. So Art of Fighting 1, 2 and 3. Be good to see if they release a lot more cards. I mean, they'd be crazy not to if it's popular. But yeah, these team battles can go, very differently. You can get steamrolled and, lose all your characters, or you can have a close fight like this. I'll just take a look at one more match. Some of the characters are pretty funny, like the drunken master guy there on the right in the green. So you can change your order as well if you want to change your order around a bit, depending on what they're picking. Nice new little stage here, little like courtyard dojo style thing, house. Really nice detailed backgrounds as always. Yeah, so this is like your team battler option. Garou Mark of the Wolves is, I guess, your most traditional fighting game one-on-one, if that's what you're looking for. And Samurai Shodown 5 I'm not very familiar with, but that's more, I would say, more measured, slightly slower paced. I could be wrong, but yeah, those fights can go pretty quick, but heavy hitting moves, different style weapon combat. So it depends, pick your flavour, depends what you fancy. I think all in all, I don't know, this one, Garou Mark of the Wolves. Just for the gorgeous animation and the slick presentation, I think Garou Mark of the Wolves edges it for me. Because there are so many of these King of Fighter games, you might prefer one version over the others. I don't know if they've selected this because it's a rarer car or it's more expensive. Like some of the other games, look, you see the background changes. So it's not just static in each round, now it's like sunset. So they didn't have to do that, but it's a really nice touch on a lot of these fighting games. Just that little extra bit of detail, they've got all the memory in these carts compared to, the home consoles. They could do this sort of thing. Hence why the carts were so expensive. Oh, the Drunken Master's down. I do believe I get my ass handed to me here. Let's see. But just imagine playing this two-player. You and your mates, pick your 3 favourite characters. That's one of the best things about this, I think. These team games, they can be pretty hectic back and forth. And you're switching characters all the time, so it depends how well you know each character. Do you pick your favourite, the one you know the best, to go first? What does your friend choose? Do they pick their worst or their best? Bit of strategy there. And just playing this on the, the authentic NEOGEO joysticks is going to be awesome. Again, no messing around with, scalers or anything. Hopefully it'll look good, but that'll be the acid test, I can't imagine they're going to screw that up, but you never know. That's one of the risks of pre-ordering, rather than just waiting for some early reviews. He's trying his karate chop. I don't think it's going to work. No. Okay. So coming on to the last fighting game, Samurai Shodown 5 Special. I think this was the last one. It might even be the last NEOGEO game that was released on the system. I believe. Could be wrong.
Samurai Shodown 5 Special.
Really nice detailed intros as always. So, loads of characters to choose from. I'll just pick a random one here. I don't really know any of them that well, to be honest. There's some other great fighters on here, like Last Blade 1 and 2. Another like weapon samurai style fighting game. Hopefully they'll release those soon as well. Yeah, I do find this one's a bit slower paced than the others, but it's a bit more like deliberate in your actions, if that makes sense. So kind of a different style. You may prefer it. That's why it's nice to have this choice of a few different types of games. Again, animations, gorgeous. Music's beautiful. I feel this one's more of a tactical duel style. You can die pretty quick. I think when I had the NEOGEO, I had Samurai Shodown 1 and 2. Samurai Shodown 2 is probably my most memorable one. Probably the same for a lot of people. So you got the power bar as well to do specials. Lovely winning poses. Awesome. Even if I did die, still cool. Okay, moving on to Pulstar. And this is the, well, no, technically there's two shmups on here, I think. This and one we'll see in a minute. This is basically kind of like R-Type. As you'll see in a second, you get like the little attachment on the front of your ship. Not too familiar with this one, but I played it a little bit and it's pretty fun. It's not at the top of my list, but if you like shmups, you might think about picking this one up. But, you know, you're going to have some games on here out of the 10 that might be like more, you know, might pick it up one day, but it's not a priority. And some you might look at and think, you know, I've got no interest in this, which is, there's a couple on here at the end, which are kind of like that for me. But I want to play this a bit more in emulation, see what I think of it, but initial impressions, I quite like it. It's really nice and detailed, but it is a, you get hit once you're dead, you have to start again. I think there's checkpoints, you might not have to start at the beginning, but it's a bit, it's not as forgiving as some shmups, so bear that in mind. And that might put some people off. But some people might like that. Bit of a challenge. Just look how detailed the sprites are, the explosions and animations. Gorgeous. So you've got speed ups, power ups, heat seeking missiles. Yeah, so if you like R-Type, you'll feel right at home here. The snake little enemies are cool, hit their heads to take them out. But again, you know, back in the day, you compared this to like the SNES and Mega Drive. I mean, they had some awesome shoot 'em ups, but there's a sheer amount of sprites and things going on here. You can tell, you know, it was from the arcade. So now we've got Magician Lord. This is one of the earliest titles on the NEOGEO. I think it was a packing game, or one of the packing games. So a side-scrolling shooter platform style. I think this is one of those ones that looks quite unassuming, but it's quite, from the little I played it, I found it quite fun, quite addictive. But again, probably not at the top of my list. But I know quite a few people quite love this game. Whether that's more nostalgia because they had it as one of the original games, who knows. So you've got a health bar on the bottom left there. So obviously, take too many hits, you're dead. And you've got a power meter on the right. Power up your attacks. And you'll see one of the main mechanics of the game in a minute, which gives it that nice little twist. So I've got 3 hit points at the moment, 3 hits and I'm dead with the blue bar at the bottom. And you'll see in a moment, oh, I got hit by the claw. You can pick certain power-ups up, which has an interesting effect on your character. A bit of verticality here with the ladders. So if you pick that orb up, now change into a dragon. Why not? And you see the health bar at the bottom left there. Now you've got 3 pink segments as well. So I think they're your life in this form. And when you lose those, go back to the blue health. That's when you transform back into your like magician form. So I don't know how many levels are on this, but it's, you know, pretty nice. A lot of different characters, a lot of different enemies. Music's pretty cool. Nope, we've only got 1 health left now on this guy. Oh, there's another orb. So I turned into like a little ninja. So I guess then, depending on what coloured orbs you get, as you see on the top right, is what different characters you change into. Power up as well, so his attacks are powered up a bit. You can't shoot on ladders. That's what I was trying to do. So you can quickly see how, you know, it's quite an addictive little game. Plays really well. It's a little boss character here. Now this is the first time I've ever met this boss, so yeah, you can guess how this goes. But that's the challenges in it of these games. Okay, so now we've got Over Top. This is the only like car game on here. Now I recently played a similar game to this called World Rally, which I really enjoyed. I didn't enjoy this one quite so much. I think it was just the style of it. It didn't play as well, control-wise. You can pick different cars. And then you're just racing against 4 other cars. Or trucks. This is definitely one of those games where you have to get used to the controls. It's a bit twitchy, finicky. As you can tell. just plow into the wall. Why not? So yeah, some long straights here. The corners are quite challenging. Then you reach these checkpoints. Then you go into another section. I don't know if it carries on like that, or maybe you've got themed sections. Yeah, I think there's a few other arcade games like this which I think do it better, but maybe I'm judging this too early. Yeah, dirt racing in a Ferrari, not its natural home. As I bounce off a tree. It may be one of those games, you know, with a bit of practice, seeing more of it, it kind of clicks. It wasn't up there for me though in the list of games, but I think some people really love it. So this is why it's down the bottom of my list. It's just, it seems alright, but it's just not something I'd rush out and, you know, want to spend 80 quid on. It's interesting mechanics then. I just did a reverse turn. Some nice jumps. But yeah, once you maybe get a bit better at this, start, you know, nailing those turns, maybe it becomes a whole lot more enjoyable. I'll have to give it more time. But yeah, that's over top. And finally we've got Twinkle Star Sprites. Now I think this is quite a rare game, very expensive. Yeah, I've never played this before. I could be completely wrong on this, but it's like a shmup. I've got no idea what's going on in this game, I'm going to be honest. As you'll see. As far as I couldn't quite work it out. Well, just bear with me. Watch this. So you're basically this girl, woman, whatever, on the left on a broomstick or something. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like a shmup, but your screen's divided in two. Now, I couldn't work out whether... Am I competing with the person on the right, or are they my ally just, you know, flying around on their own? Because you get some puzzle games like this where you're kind of like facing off. If you do good on the left, it impedes ones on the right. If your enemy does better, it sends more stuff your way on the left. Yeah, so you've got win and lose. So I'm guessing you're competing with the character on the right somehow. I just don't know how it all works. I mean, like, if you shoot more stuff, do they face more stuff? Vice versa? I mean, this is at the bottom of my list only because I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, I'm not going to be honest with you. But it might be one of those games, you know, once you learn it, and you get a bit further, it might click, it might be awesome. But yeah, there we go. That's the lineup of games, guys. So there we go, guys. There's a quick overview of the new NEOGEO and accessories and games which are coming out later in the year. We'll have to see how well they execute this, but I'm hopeful that they'll do a good job. I mean, to drop the ball at this stage, they're kind of just shooting themselves in the foot with how popular this appears to be already. So yeah, for me, I think I'm just going to go at some point, I don't know when, I might just get the basic system, pick up a game or two in the memory card, and then go from there in the future. There's no rush. I mean, I don't think this is going to, you know, sell out. So yeah, tell me what you think. Are you interested in this? A lot of people might have multiple games like this already on various consoles. They might not be interested, but as a former NEOGEO owner, yeah, I'm interested in this. NEOGEO is one of my favorite things from a retro perspective. It's unique, and not many people have the opportunity to play the real thing. This is probably kind of the nearest many will get, because the real thing is just, it's pretty expensive. So this makes it a hell of a lot more accessible and cheaper. So it's going to be interesting to see if other companies are keeping their eye on this and do something similar, you know, because there was that whole release of the retro mini consoles that came out, were pretty popular. So maybe something similar will happen with this. We can always hope, you know. I love a Sega Saturn with all the shmups and games. That'd be awesome. Even Mega Drive and SNES. I don't think Nintendo are going to do anything, but you never know. So yeah, thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you again very soon for more arcade, retro, and PC goodness. Bye bye for now.